right across the world and around Nigeria. If you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning right here from our headquarters in Lagos. And now to our main conversation for today. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the creation of a new ministry that will address livestock development.
Very true. This came as he inaugurated the Renewed Hope Livestock Reform Implementation Committee at the State House, Abuja, on Tuesday.
The committee is mandated to provide sector-focused solutions to address the age-long farmers-herders crisis.
In September 2023, the National Livestock Reforms Committee recommended that Tinubu create a Ministry of Livestock Resources among 21 other recommendations and deliverables to reduce the decades-long conflict between farmers and nomadic cattle hearers nationwide.
This agenda includes the establishment and resuscitation of grazing reserves and other methods of land utilization.
Very true. And in the alternative, federal and state governments are expected to expand the scope of existing departments of livestock production to address the broader needs of the industry.
Meanwhile, Miyetti Cattle Breeders Association have hailed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the development and added that the government's approach must also address the needs of the four kinds of herders. Number one, as follows: those who settle at home. The second, nomadic herdsmen traversing the country. The third, those from neighboring West African countries, as well as those who have settled among certain ethnic tribes and indigenized. And still in the studios with us is Pastor Tunji Abdulhamid, and joining us right about now is Cyril Abaku, a journalist and a public affairs analyst. Good morning to you.
Thank you.
And welcome.
Good morning.
All right, gentlemen, there we have it. Another ministry have been added to the list of all the ministries that we have in the federal government right about now. But of course, the question is this necessary at this time, Cyril Abaku?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We said it long ago. The federal government just has a way of skirting issues. First of all, the farmer herders issue, if that's what it really is, doesn't even require this solution. You have criminality, people killing people and people having gone. We have not made any genuine attempt to address that issue head on. For example, why should cattle be nomadic in 21st century Nigeria? We're not the world's highest exporter of beef. We're not the world's largest owners of cattle. Cattle is private business. The federal government doesn't even have any farms anywhere. They even have a Ministry of Agriculture. Okay? So there are things like that. And we're wondering, agriculture is private business, and state government could have been handling that. Now, we're cutting out an entire department of the agriculture to make it a ministry on its own. I come from a river and I'm from a river state. You can't have decent fish to eat anymore in the waters because of pollution. Why haven't they created a ministry of fishery? For us, because we are by far more endangered than the cattle rearers are. You know what I mean? So why have they not done that? Why is the cattle breeding people more, why is livestock more important?
We're not holding brief for the Miyetti and all the cattle breeders, but of course, it's a reality that their business is sandwiched with the culture. I don't know if that is true. So how do you differentiate the both?
Yes, let me address it. Earlier in the newspaper review, I heard Barrister Abdulhamid talking about this being a democracy. Democracy didn't fall from heaven. None of us invented democracy. Society has evolved from the monarchies to the democracy in the manner of speaking, with the reasonable exception of the Yoruba. Democracy appears to be an imposition on the black man, where you come out and vote you vote popularly for your leaders. It didn't happen before. Till today, in Okreka, in Opobo, in Calabari land, in a lot of places, you have royal families. Even in South Africa, there are royal families they call them ruling houses. Where I come from, they are called royal families. And only from the royal family can you choose a king. So it was an exclusive right. I'm talking about culture. But over time, these have evolved. If you talk about culture, the current APC chairman, former governor of Kano State, when he saw what was happening with the cattle problem, he said he was going to cut off a large portion of land in Kano State that will be enough to cater for all the cattle Nigeria can rear for God knows how long. That all the cattle people should come to Kano and use that place. They said no. So what are they looking for? What are they then really looking for? You have cattle working on airport tarmac. You have cattle working in university campuses. What are they really looking for? Is that cattle rearing? Is there an economic benefit to that? It appears that we are trying to impose what they call a way of life. Look, Europe had nomadic tribes. You know what I mean? Europe had nomadic tribes. Where are they today? Where are they today? Even America, where are they today? If you're going to have nomadic, you cannot what you call cattle routes, grazing routes, okay? If only for the sake of country. So they can, but today now there are no routes. Whatever, you can wake up one day and see cattle even in the estate in Lagos. It looks as if the cattle rearing people are people that are beyond the law. Now again, government should have been a bit more mindful. The other day you saw the story in Port Harcourt where they said that at a port in Onne, that 848 rifles were seized with ammunition and other things. In Lagos later on, that one in Port Harcourt was worth some billions. Yeah. The one in Lagos was worth the one in Lagos was what other billions again. Do you know that the one in Lagos included even drones? Before now, there was a story in which military grade drone was intercepted at Lagos airport around 2017 or 2018. People don't talk about these things. These cattle breeders hold AK-47 rifles. One of them, from what I told, is $5 million. Whether I don't even know whether it's black market price or off the shelf. Cattle rearers carrying AK-47. What are they doing with it? What is the real? You saw the terms of reference. The Miyetti are saying, Mr. President, you need to think of household cattle rearers. Yes. As if they livestock. Hold on, they what livestock did he say cattle rearing? But we know the political. This is political capitulation that Mr. President has done. Because when you say livestock is not limited to cattle, what are piggery? Piggery is livestock. But now the Miyetti are to speak to say, Mr. President, please, there are 4
people, 4 sets of.
Number 1, domestic cattle rearers. Number 2, nomadic, and number 3, people who are coming to
from West Africa.
Which just goes to tell you that this whole people are talking about grand agenda to take over Nigeria and so on. These are very solid footprints, and the fact that government is even playing into it just tells you that. And you see, Mr. President has done a number of things which I said on this platform that look like offending the North. Especially the Fulani. Now, with this livestock, the livestock development stuff was an agenda that was thrown in public space. I can't remember who did it some weeks ago. I think it was even the Fulani cattle people that said, create a union. And we said, for what? How can? Now, look at the president in order to assuage the North or assuage the Fulani. Clearly speaking, there was the CBN issue, there was the farm issue, there are a number of issues that did not begin to feel that this president is anti-North, including whether they are saying it or not, including the Kano Emirate issue. Because in politics is emotion before reason first, right? It's emotion before reason, including the Sultan issue in Sokoto, which is not necessarily the president's making. But you'll be amazed how what goes around. So in order to do, I think they just found the silver bullet to quell this whole thing once and for all. But for me, it's capitulation. What is the livestock development ministry going to do that agriculture cannot do? Even when it is contentious, that we don't even need it in,
Yeah, I was Barrister Tunji. The creation of the ministry is the latest attempt by the Nigerian government to address the decade-long conflict between herders and farmers' access to land, pasture, and water. Now, at this point, we ask, what is the Ministry of Agriculture existing for?
Well, I think, let me think, let me apply Omawumi's music. If you ask me, now who I go ask? You see, for me, I don't believe any creation of ministry, creation of agency, creation of whatever they want to create. Is a solution. It will solve the problem of anything. Not even only this conflict you are talking about. Though yes, truly there is a conflict between farmer and herders. Conflict. I even love the word conflict. I don't want to say clash. It's conflict of interest. They want to feed their cow. The farmer want to
cultivate his land.
So there's a conflict that, and how do we resolve it? Government is looking at a solution to that. But when you are looking at a solution to that, should we be creating a new ministry at this time? especially when the president some weeks ago, months ago, came out with a banner headline to implement a report. What is this Orange report talking about? Reduction of ministries. And they set up a committee to that effect. And I think that this Abala was said should be the head or something. I don't know how to do it. That has not been done. And that's why you see most time when I think that maybe I will go and be doing the prophecy work. When those issues came out that time, when people were praising the government, that he has come to, I said, look, it's too early. Let's see the implementation first. Did you see any implementation of those reports now that he has directed them to do? Or they are still working on it? Or they are still looking at it? Is that what they are saying? Rather than reduce, what are we having? We are adding more. Remember, we have 49 ministries currently. Is it 48 or 49? We have 48 or 49, whichever. And then we are going to be adding one to it. Which means we are going to have more, one or two ministers again in that ministry. Which means we are thinking of reducing the costs and we are increasing expenses or responsibility, things that will make us spend more money. So for me, my worry is that if at all, even if we are going to spend that money and we are going to get the result we are looking for, I will have been happy with it. I tell you, it will just go be a mere office creation, job for the boys. Some people will will have opportunity to become MD, CEO, minister, and the problem for the purpose for which the ministry was created will still be there, and they will be sifting it. They will be discovered that John his own is the people. It's the people. People are not doing their own. Government are doing its part. He has created whatever. But people are not listening. It will not. I'm telling you, go and write it down. The creation of the ministry will not solve any problem. Not because it cannot solve it, but because there won't be the implementation will not be geared towards doing it. It just be a means of people getting money. Like for me, I see it as politics. The government is trying to spread its tentacle and try to pacify or what's it called? People seem to have been not happy with the president. You know, the only thing I know what people have been saying, which is now clear to me. You know, the president has a nickname, Master Strategy. It's now been clear to me that the strategy is only about how to win election, not how about to govern. The president is lacking in governance skill. As far as I'm concerned, you can see. I'm trying to find out. Is that the same Jega, the former INEC chairman?
Yes, that's head in the. Yeah.
By time 27 will come now, Jega will be on the side of the president. Everybody will be set. They have been settled small. They have been put into the system. So whenever the letter is coming,
critical voices.
That's what will happen. That's what they are doing. So for me, I am not. Especially when we even have what we call a livestock department or so under the Ministry of Agriculture. What have they been doing? What is the impact? What is the impact of that? So I have a limited point here. You know why? I am restricted because I have little information regarding this livestock ministry or what they want to do. I've not even seen the law because there must be a law that will back them. Yes, that will be maybe that's the purpose of the committee. So when we see the law, when we see and again, even with the law people don't follow law in Nigeria, and that's why we're not getting the desired results. So even when we have the law, people will be operating against the law or be looking for the loopholes in the law to achieve their own individual or personal benefit. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, creation of new ministry for whatever form, whether livestock or any other stock or any other form, it is not what we need now. We are thinking of reduction of these ministries, and we are creating new old one. We are to reduce costs, and we are creating more opportunity to spend more money. As far as I'm concerned, it's contradictory to the position of the president that he said his desire is to implement report and to also reduce the cost of governance. Rather, the government is increasing governance, as far as I'm concerned, because we are going to be having like 50 or so ministers now in the history of Nigeria or more, because every ministry must have a minister. So the player cannot say you are just creating the life of ministry and then that will be minister, that will be PAPSEC, that will be all those things. People will be assigned. Yes, people will be uplifted to higher level. Yes, but with that problem, be solved?
All right,
That's
so
the question.
all right. Speaking of whether the problem will be solved or not, according to that particular report, there were 21 recommendations. One of them is the creation of the ministry. The second is the one we just read out, consideration for the types of herders, and amongst them also is revisiting the grazing route. Okay, the federal government has stated that it would now be in charge of acquiring lands in different states in order to make it possible for herders to do their business. Don't you think this would cause more provocation from Nigerians like it was during Muhammad Buhari?
I'm really glad you took the conversation there. Let me cast our minds back to Plateau State, where we will have herders go to communities, people will be killed, houses will be bombed. Then they now, it's like military occupation. They now occupy those places. And believe me, change the names of those places from, you see, all this one we're talking about, progress without truth and reconciliation is not going to work. Change the community name from the Berom name to the Fulani name. Then the villagers the Berom will now write Buhari's government and say, Mr. President, our community has been sacked, so and so has happened. The president will now, the presidency will reply to the letter, referring to that town in the new Fulani ward. So clearly the presidency or the federal government has become partisan, has become a party to the conflict. It has relinquished its position as a neutral, natural arbiter in the crisis. In fact, the way in which people have been killed and sacked in a lot of plateau villages without proper investigation, prosecution, and anything is criminal on its part. You remember when, was it Benue Plateau, where the presidency wrote back and said, you need to learn to share your land with your brothers.
It's Plateau State.
So what does that tell you? Even this one, they shouldn't be given any grazing routes. And I'll tell you why. The question of water. We are still trying to figure out how best to be a federal state, because we claim to be federal. India does not use the word federal in their constitution, but they are federal. But we that call ourselves federal, we are not federal in any way. Even Kenya just got the name Republic of Kenya. But after the 2007 election riots, part of what they needed to make the society, a bit more calm, was that there was negotiation. They now had to they develop powers, they push our powers down to the regions to give them confidence that they can remain and continue in the country. The first and perhaps only bill that was pushed to the National Assembly by the Buhari government was the National Waterways Bill. And what was the bill for? It was basically to federalize the waterways and make them federal properties. When that happened, with a president who has demonstrated patent and criminal bias in a conflict over land involving herders and native indigenous farm owners, will now come and say that they will now sign a law saying that the water in I'm from an island town, that the water contributing the land now belongs to federal government. So that if I see herders drinking there, you better go and first report to the federal before you come and chase them away. How is that for building a nation? How is that for making us believe that this country can work? How is that for I maintain, and I say again, President Buhari, if I became president tomorrow, I will arrest him. I'll put him on trial. He has questions to answer. Because he ran this country in a way. Did you see what the Fulani were asking? The Miyetti we are asking for? That they wanted them to also take care of cattle rearers who have become indigenous. What does that mean?
What does that
mean? In this country, is there any law for determining indigenship? We have the indigenous settler dichotomy in many places that often leads to conflict, which it shouldn't be. I have a friend. I spoke to him yesterday. A journalist like me, who are all doing. I was in the radio. I was in the TV arm of my former employer. He was in the radio arm. He used to become station manager and wanted me to be doing some programs for him on radio. We were doing this thing. Later on, he relocated to Canada. I said, "Speak to you today." He is what you can call a counselor. So I was asking him yesterday. I said, "Oga, Well, how did he said, look, in Canada here, they didn't even ask him where he was born or who his fathers were. They just told him, what do you want to do for us in this county? He told them, and they voted for him. All of them are white. He's the only black person with his wife and children.
So can't that equally be applied to the indigenization issue?
We are going to live in Nigeria.
What is, hold on, in Lagos, even in Nigeria, but even in Lagos, if your name is not if your name is not a native name in Lagos here, you are born and raised there, the day you go back to your place, your so-called place, where you're supposed to be an Indigen, they will tell you that, okay, we don't know you because you are not, you've not done anything with us. But even in Lagos, Lagos is even fairly cosmopolitan.
If your godfather is in support,
is in support, okay?
You can see Desmond.
But yes,
You said Desmond was fully elected.
Yeah.
Even the Gbadebo, who was a true
Who is true son of the soil,
was condemned because he cannot speak Yoruba very well.
and because his wife is not a native. But the broader issue is this: how do you even determine that the person has become an Indigen? Because I'm not against it. Frankly speaking, if we didn't see all this, what looks like a hidden agenda around the cattle business, I have no problem. I was in my hometown in 2014 or so, and this man was, they're everywhere. These cattle, so they're everywhere. J.P. Clark wrote a poem called Fulani Cattle, and I think he spoke my language. I was so happy, and I was naturally happy. The place I saw him was a place called Okochi. Just to give you the fact, I was happy. I said, "Can you speak? Let's speak." Or was it me that spoke outside? I can't remember because somehow he was a bit reticent. He didn't want to. But for me, it's a thing of that somebody left Sokoto anywhere. Because in Nigeria, we don't really mingle. We don't know ourselves very well. So, hey, you are Nupe and you are Nigerian. Hey, you are what? You're Nigerian. You are Canada. Because for some of us, if you're in Port Harcourt or Owerri, once you see somebody dressed like a barrister Tunji without a car, you say, they are all Hausa.
Malam.
But if Aboki has become a derogatory word, it means friend. We say Abokina, Surukina, what's the other one that they like to use? Mutumina. It means my person. Why can't we? It is because of this government institution that makes us to look at each other as enemies. Otherwise, believe me, this would have been a very good way for all of us to mingle together. Why did they create NYS? It's not for us to at least somehow make them. So the problem is they are not claiming that there are indigenous places. How did you become an Indigen in that place? You came in 1981 and you want to be an Indigen. You came in 1971 or maybe you even came in 1999.
Whatever you.
How have you then become an Indigen of that place? By changing the name of the community. But excuse me, they did this in Kaduna where they said, okay, to avoid this cattle, but they gave them land, say, go and have your space. Did this solve the problem? For me, government should, even Governor Ganduje said, all of you that are there cattle, leave Port Harcourt, leave Lagos, come to Kano. I have enough land for you. It would have been a good business model because even me, I could have just gone out to invest, say, put $2 million there, do cattle for me. When the money is there, give me profit. We are not doing that because you want to become indigenous of place that you want to settle in. I'm ashamed to be talking indigenous settlement.
All right.
But it is not we are.
Well, let me say that the language that you talk about, that you say he has land, he doesn't have any land though. There is no land that is free in Nigeria.
There is a name you give.
That land he said he will give them.
Forest, yes.
He will go and revoke the right of certain people. That will not be another ground of fighting that they took our land and this and that. That's what they will do. I'm telling you. So it's just for me until we allow law to prevail. You know what? If you commit crime, punish you for it. Don't let us justify it for whatever reason. That is running his cow, he's doing his business. So he should not be doing his business. So this one, and then in the course of doing his business, he's trespassing on your land or is committing crime or is destroying your property, and then and people will not punish them and they will not go against them. And then so the point is this, and that's why I said, no matter how many ministry you create, let's create a ministry of fish on its own. Ministry of pig on its own. It will not solve any, otherwise this elder farmer conflict. There are so many. Jonathan administration in an attempt to solve this problem created what they call nomadic school or whatever.
Nomadic schools.
How many of them are in that school?
True.
They still prefer those idea of moving around. It's become part of them. And I'm not saying they should not move around. You want to move around. But in moving around, you have to be careful not to us or any other person's or businesses or as a person. That's what the problem is. People don't. When I was growing up, we saw elders that are doing this now. What's it called? Running their what's it called? The cattle. But with this much, there's this not much concern. Ola Balu regarding somebody is destroying my property, you are killing me, or this and that. They have a way of doing. But today, they are doing it with that impunity. There's nothing you will do. Particularly in the last administration. Because we are giving them that opportunity, because nothing is happening, they are justifying what they are doing. So for me, the creation of a ministry is just another political game. It will not solve any problem. It's like what we are doing, that whenever there's a problem, you throw money into it, and then the money will disappear. That's what we do. So they will say we have this problem, this and that. They will say, okay, we are going to allocate. And where exactly the problems are, money are not being thrown into it. ASU, there's a problem in ASU with ASU and NASU or NAS or whatever. Yes. They are not throwing money to them. They are not throwing money to them. How much are they looking for? This can be resolved. This ministry they are creating today, if by tomorrow they say it's starting, whatever money they need or they will be required to start it, even if, no matter how billion it is, they will bring it out. Definitely. The ASU has been asking for how many billions since 2009, and that has not been given to them.
Was it 9 billion at the time?
I can't even remember the amount.
It can't be up to 90 billion that they gave for people that went.
I can't
be up to that.
No, it has increased. No, things have changed.
But
the one I'm asking for has to do with the other call regarding what I can't remember the name again, to make sure the environment are healthy, are okay. Sure. Those, the cost is now implemented. So there is no any attempt to even throw money at that. Those areas that will bring political gain, money will be very easy to throw money.
All right, we can go on and on.
Because of this creation of ministry or whatever now, some people will have the support of the president. Some new comfort will be received. Some people will not become this man is
I even have a worry. If this is just 2024, he was sworn in last year. If we begin to have this kind of concessions from now, how much will he give by 2027?
From day one, from during campaign, the president has started his campaign for 2027. I remember I was in Enugu or so during campaign. I can't remember. He said it specifically. If you vote for me in 2023 and become president, and I didn't do what I said I would do, don't vote for me in 2027.
How much will he give? How much will he give?
All right. Some would call it a largesse, to win more votes. Others would call it an opportunity for them to be less marginalized. But we just hope that this doesn't, boil down to more issues. Of course, just like we would remember, some of these issues were what caused the ECN in the southeast of Nigeria, and we just hope that this doesn't cause much more problem in our country, Nigeria.
So I would pray our governments, our leaders do the right thing, put in the right money in the right place, and we hope Nigeria becomes the land of our dreams. Very
true. I'd love to say thank you to Cyril Abaku for being part of our show. Thank you so very much for the insight. And Barrister Tunji Hamid, thank you so very much for being part of our show.
It's my privilege.
All right, Choma.
Thank you, Harry.
Thank you.
It's always an interesting time with you here.
All right, so this is just about the time we have. I'd love to say thank you to you for always giving us your time. We truly do appreciate it. But please do well to visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com for more news, and do follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry BBK.
And I'm Choma.
On behalf of the entire team, I'd love to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.